I came across this video courtesy of TikTok of this particular See Her, Be Her commercial that I saw in the past that featured this actress by the name of Dove Cameron. I just want to take a few moments here to give my commentary on this particular commercial. So, with that being said, let's get it.
Coming out to my fans was life-changing for me. It felt very vulnerable to be myself and to write music about being queer. But the beautiful thing about living your truth is that you make room for other people to live authentically for themselves, whatever that means to them. I am committed to using my platform to help create an environment of acceptance and support. Because the hate may be loud, but it is not more powerful than our community. If you can see her, you can be her.
Well, first and foremost, this notion of a quote unquote community is pretty much non existent because those who identify as LGBTQ plus cannot reproduce. Number one. Number two, um, different individuals within those groups are at odds with each other. Number two. And then number three, the most obvious being that every single one within that quote unquote group or community is completely confused. And it's sad. It really is. It is very unfortunate for them. But aside from that, the last point she made towards the end, where she stated, the hate may be loud, but is not more powerful than our community. Well, I got to ask, what hate are you referring to? Are you referring? Is anybody talking about killing, burning, stabbing, lynching? Anybody within the quote unquote alphabet mafia? Not that I know of particularly. And that's the issue because when you have people out here who are identified as the silent majority, who are not in favor of these particular lifestyles being pushed throughout society on the masses because of the fact that they know that those particular lifestyles not only affects the people promoting it, but the fact it's going to affect everyone else. They speak out against it, and what happens when they speak out against it? They're called hateful, and the words that they use are considered hate speech and also violence. That's another one of those terms that they have right now, violence, which is pretty interesting to me because they're quick to call stuff like that violent and full of hate. Yet, these very same people who are promoting these different alternative lifestyles are the ones who are continuously breaking down the family structure to the point where they're reshaping it to a real life modern family. To the where you have children out here where you have two mommies, two daddies. It could be one who's either gay, bisexual, lesbian, transgender, non-binary, etc. To the point where children who are growing up under that stuff can't think for themselves. They don't know up from down, left to right, anything. All right. How's that not considered hate? How's that not considered violent? But you're particularly in regards to certain cases, what goes on in those households involving children. But but they don't. But mainstream media doesn't talk about that, right? Now, if that's not considered violent or full of hate, then I don't know what is. On top of that, and also going back to this person right here by Abdul Cameron. In the past, you had females who people could easily spot who were of the alternative lifestyle, who they were called at the time lesbians, right? You could tell them apart due to the short hair cut that they had, the masculine sounding voice that they had, the jackets that they wore, the typical blue jeans that they wore, and the motorcycle. Yeah, they were called biker chicks back in the day. that's who you could easily spot as being of that particular lifestyle. But it's not just them anymore. It's women like this, like a Dove Cameron, attractive looking women nowadays who are coming out as lesbian, who are coming out as bisexual, who are coming out as, in some cases, pansexual. And speaking of which, that's what's going on with my man Wayne Brady right now, right? Who he himself recently came out, acknowledged, and admitted that he himself is pansexual. And that's the times we're living in right now, where you have people like them, like a Wayne Brady, like a Dove Cameron, and many others who are coming out as members of the LGBTQ plus, even though they make up less than what, 7% of the population. It just goes to show you how powerful uh, those ideologies are, man. It just shows. And not just that, this stuff isn't just happening obviously within music, movies, and entertainment when it comes to women, but it's happening even in the sports world, like WWE, AEW, for instance. We have females out here by the likes of Sonya Deville, Tegan Knox, Shayna Baszler, Kayla Braxton, Dakota Kai, Saraya, formerly known as Paige. Now, I never really heard anything about her coming out per se, but there is definitely some lesbian activity in the past, for those who already know. And also, well, Tony Storm, right? Examples of women like that. Now, we know Shayna, we kind of joke around. She's not the most comely woman in the world, but either way, her and all the women that I just described, in my honest opinion, none of them have absolutely no business being LGBTQ plus. All right, and that includes this actress Dove Cameron. And the reason I say that is because they're too pretty, right? They're too gorgeous for that. So that's why I say it. However, on the plus side, I respect this person's honesty and transparency in regards to, embracing who they really are. Because because when it comes to us as men, um, that in itself is a huge favor to us because it shows us, okay, it gives us a huge indicator of the type of women to avoid, right? Because I understand it's slim pickings out here in regards to trying to find a good woman, but we shouldn't get too desperate to where we just want to try to lay it down with anyone or anybody, You know what I mean? Especially given their track history, given their history overall. So, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Because when that happens, for certain men who do that, it spells disaster, first and foremost. And before I close this video out, too, um, you have to understand, um, with people operating the way they are because of these lifestyles, if it makes them happy, they embrace being who they are. Okay, well that's the case, and hey, if that makes them happy, hey, good for them. More power to them. But they have to understand that um, living living those type of lifestyles comes with consequences that can affect you physically, that can affect you emotionally, it can help definitely affect you spiritually. And so I'm hoping that they're able to live with those consequences. All right. So just want to put that out there. But anyway, with that being said, I just wanted to just cover this commercial right here because it just popped into my mind, and just wanted to start, go ahead and just react to it, give my 2 cents as usual. And then I think this is going to become a bit more of a norm for me in regards to covering more commercials in the future. So if anybody has any ideas or suggestions on commercials they want me to react to, you can put the suggestions down in the comments below, and we'll take it from there. But with that, that's my time, and I'm out. Peace.